My thumb hovered over the confirm button for the 156th time in 3 years. $420, my entire grocery and heating budget for the month, was about to vanish into my mother's bank account for my father's emergency heart treatments. I stared at my reflection in the dark phone screen, pale, exhausted, and shivering in an apartment where the heat stayed off to save cents. I'm Jade. I'm 26 years old, and I just found out my father's heart condition has a metallic blue paint job and a twin-turbo engine. This story is an original creation by the Revenge Pulse team, crafted from common social conflicts to help viewers reflect, heal, and find strength. It is a work of fiction and does not depict any real individuals. The vibration of my phone broke the silence. A notification from Instagram: Chase Miller is live. Chase, my golden boy brother who couldn't handle the stress of a job, was standing in a high-end dealership. Pop. A champagne cork flew past the camera. Behind him, my parents were glowing, draped in designer coats I'd never seen before. To the new ride, my father roared, hoisting a glass. He looked remarkably healthy for a man supposedly on his deathbed. We emptied the reserve fund this month. Son, but seeing you in this BMW worth every penny, my mother beamed, hugging Chase. Family lifts each other up. That's what we do. I looked down at my banking app. The transfer was still pending. My mother's last text sat right above it. Jade, don't forget Friday. Your father's life depends on your sacrifice. A cold, clear click sounded in my mind. It wasn't my heart breaking. It was the shackles falling off. I didn't press confirm. I pressed delete. If you're watching this and you've ever been the designated sacrifice for a family of parasites, tell me where you're tuning in from. I whispered to the empty, freezing room. Because this Friday, the bank is officially closed. The live stream continued, Chase laughing as he revved the engine of a car bought with my literal blood and sweat. He had no idea that I wasn't just stopping the payments. I was about to call the one person who knew exactly whose name was really on those financing papers. My father's voice echoed through the speaker, too loud, too alive for a man supposedly one missed payment away from a heart attack. My grip tightened as Chase swung the camera around, showcasing a metallic blue BMW. The showroom lights hit the paint with a brilliance that felt like a slap in my face. This is what hard work looks like. Everyone, Chase laughed, popping another bottle. Dedication pays off. My mother, Marilyn, leaned into the frame, her smile radiant. Our Chase deserves the best. He's had a rough start, but we always knew he'd rise. My father, Arthur, clapped him on the back. We pulled from every corner this month. Even that special fund your mother keeps so carefully. But some sacrifices are worth it for an investment like this. Investment. The word felt heavier than any insult they'd ever hurled at me. Inside my freezing apartment, I sat perfectly still. The stale bread on my counter and the 3 layers of sweaters I wore didn't exist for them. To them, I wasn't a daughter. I was the special fund. Family lifts each other up. Marilyn cooed into the camera. That's our secret. Chase smirked, spotting my username in the viewer list. Jade, if you're watching, drop a comment. Maybe this will inspire you to work a few more overtime shifts. You've been looking a bit stagnant lately. Marilyn laughed softly. Oh, Chase, don't tease. She gets overwhelmed so easily. She doesn't have your spirit. They looked radiant, unburdened, healthy, and perfectly satisfied with a lifestyle built on my exhaustion. I looked at the edge of my threadbare blanket, my fingers trembling, but not from the cold. Something inside me snapped a quiet, delicate break that didn't hurt. It just felt like clarity. 3 years. 3 years of skipping meals and delaying my own dreams so they could toast to a lie. I closed the live stream, not with anger, but with the gentle finality of someone locking a door they never intend to open again. The room went dark, but for the first time in a very long time, I wasn't afraid of the shadows. I was the one who was about to turn out their lights. I sat with the phone still in my hand, the screen's glow gone, but their words were carved into the freezing walls of my apartment. My mother laughed. My father's toast. Chase's smug challenge. All of it layered over the memory of the $420 I had sent money I had literally bled for. I opened my banking app. My thumb hovered over the scheduled payments I'd set up when Marilyn insisted. Consistency is the only thing keeping your father's heart beating. Jade. I clicked into the recurring transfer. Every Friday, $420, 3 years. My breath came out slow and cold. I pressed cancel. A small confirmation box appeared. Are you sure? I tapped yes. The silence that followed didn't feel empty. It felt clean. I opened the insurance portal next. Marilyn had cried for 10 minutes the day she convinced me to upgrade them to the Platinum Comfort Plan. Your father deserves dignity. Jade, Chase is too fragile to handle the paperwork. You're the strong one. I scrolled until I reached the downgrade option. Basic coverage, high deductible, no extras. Yes, my fingers are steady now. The shaking was gone. I switched to the family group chat. The last message was from Marilyn 2 days ago. Don't forget Friday. Jade, we're counting on you, I typed slowly, letting each word settle like a stone. Congratulations on the BMW Chase. I hope it handles better than Dad's failing heart. Don't bother calling. I hit send. No explanation, no apology. I turned the phone off before the read receipts could appear. I walked to my desk and opened the bottom drawer. Buried beneath old receipts was a worn notebook with a peeling label, The Debt. I hadn't opened it in years, but now it felt like evidence. I flipped to the first page dates, amounts, and the lies that accompanied them. $40 for Dad's vitamins, $200 for Chase's car repairs. My chest tightened, but not from guilt. It was recognition. I placed my fingertips on the paper and whispered to the empty room. Let's see what the truth actually adds up to. The first page of the notebook was faint, the ink smudged by the shaky hands of the girl I used to be. I traced the top line, $180, Mom's urgent dental work. I remembered her trembling voice on the phone. Jade, I can't go to work looking like this. Do you want people to think our family is falling apart? I had sent the money within minutes, skipping my own dental checkup to do it. The next line, $240, Chase's art certification. I whispered to the cold room. He quit that class after 4 days. Page after page, the pattern emerged as a slow, methodical draining of my life. $40 for Dad's vitamins, $120 for Mom's prescription refills, $300 for unexpected repairs that never seemed to end. Each entry was written in my hand, but dictated by their greed. Then, a date stopped my heart, June 14th. $640, car repairs for Mom. My throat tightened. That was the week of my college graduation. I remembered standing in my cap and gown, scanning the crowd for their faces while my classmates were being hugged by their families. My phone had buzzed just minutes before the ceremony. Chase had groaned. Jade, I'm sick. They need to stay with me. You'll be fine, Marilyn added. We're so proud, but your brother needs us more right now. I had taken the bus home alone, clutching my diploma and believing their lie. Now, looking at the $640 entry, the truth hit me like a physical blow. They hadn't stayed home. They had used my money to go somewhere, anywhere but to me. I reached the final page and added the numbers. I did it twice to be sure. $46,800. I whispered the verdict aloud. 46,800. The number didn't crush me. It set me on fire. I hadn't imagined the sacrifice. I had been carrying their entire world on my back for 3 years while they trampled on mine. I closed the notebook. No more tears. No more special funds. I straightened my shoulders and looked at my reflection. This is where I stop paying for your choices, I said firmly, and start making you pay for mine. I turned my phone on the next morning, expecting silence. Instead, It vibrated so hard it nearly slid off the table, alert after alert, the screen filled with poison. The first blow was from Facebook. Marilyn had posted a long, breathless paragraph, tagging every relative we had. Please pray for us. Jade has abandoned her sick father during his worst decline. We gave her everything, but jealousy can poison even the kindest heart. My chest tightened, not from guilt, but from the surgical precision of her cruelty. Chase commented immediately, "Don't worry. Mom, karma always finds people who forget where they came from." Before I could close the app, a message from Aunt Linda appeared. "Sweetheart, are you okay? Your mom is saying terrible things." "I just want to hear the truth," I typed back, my fingers cold. "I'm okay. Aunt Linda, I just can't be their bank anymore. Check Chase's Instagram if you want to see where the treatment money really went." Then, the threat arrived. A text from Chase. "You made Mom cry. Fix this. Send the money by noon, or I'll come to your office and tell your boss exactly what kind of person you are. Don't make this harder. You know you owe us." I looked around my apartment at the thin blanket, the stack of unpaid utility bills, and the broken lamp I couldn't afford to fix. The word "owe" felt like a blade. For a split second, a lifetime of conditioning whispered that I should just surrender to make the pain stop. "No," I said aloud. The sound was small but solid. I scrolled through my contacts until I found a name from my freelance days, Robert Langford, a lawyer who specialized in elder law and financial abuse. When he picked up, I didn't waste a second. "Robert, my family hasn't just been asking for help. They've been stealing my life, and now they're threatening my livelihood." His reply was calm. "Lethal. Come in today. Jade, bring every receipt you have." Robert Langford's office smelled of old books and quiet judgment. He flipped through my notebook, his expression darkening with every page. $46,800 is not a misunderstanding. "Jade," he said quietly, "it's a pattern of systemic exploitation. I want my life back." I said, "If that means they pay, they pay." Robert nodded. "We'll start with a demand letter for the $46,000. But first, I need to run a full credit sweep. It's standard for financial abuse cases." He typed for a moment, his face neutral until it wasn't. His brows drew together. He clicked something twice, leaning closer to the screen. "Jade, did you apply for a high-limit travel card 18 months ago?" "No." My voice thinned. "I can barely get approved for a gas card." Robert turned the monitor toward me. "There are 2 active credit cards in your name, both opened using your parents' home address. One has a limit of $8,500. The other is $10,000. Both are fully maxed out." The room felt like it was spinning. "That's impossible." He pointed to the digital signature on the application, a shaky, poorly forged version of my name. My hands went ice cold. They didn't just take my cash, they stole my identity. They used my social security number to fund a life I wasn't allowed to live. "This is identity theft," Robert said, his voice dropping an octave. "In this state, that's a felony. If we report this, charges will follow. There's no family discount for the law." I stared at the screen, at the numbers that represented my ruined credit and their stolen luxury. For a moment, I saw Marilyn's face in my mind, telling me I was overwhelmed. Jade Robert asked softly, "Do you want to proceed?" I lifted my chin, the last of my hesitation vanishing. "File the report. All of it." "You understand," he said. "There's no going back. I've been going back for 26 years. Robert, this time, I'm the one moving forward." By the time I reached my parents' house, the sun had dipped behind the trees, leaving an orange glow that felt more like a warning than a sunset. Laughter spilled from the backyard, sharp, celebratory, and fueled by my stolen money. Chase was holding court, bragging about his new investment to a crowd of friends. I walked through the gate, the manila envelope tucked under my arm like a weapon. The music didn't stop, but the conversations did. Guests shifted aside, some looking at me with pity, others with the same coldness Marilyn had taught them. Marilyn moved first, her wine glass trembling. "Jade," she hissed. "What are you doing here? You're making a scene. Don't humiliate yourself." I stepped past her without a word. Chase was leaning against the metallic blue BMW, his grin fading as he saw the look in my eyes. "Jade," he said slowly, "this isn't the time for one of your moods." I set the envelope on the table beside the cake. The thud was louder than I expected, vibrating through the frosting. "This," I said, loud enough for every guest to hear, "is the official police report for the felony identity theft you committed." The backyard went silent. My father, Arthur, pushed forward, his face pale. "Identity theft. Don't be ridiculous. Jade, we're your parents." "Yes," I said, sliding the documents onto the table. "And you used my social security number to open 2 credit cards. $18,500 in debt. I have forged signatures. I have the billing address for this house." Marilyn's voice cracked. "You would destroy your own family over a misunderstanding." "No." I met her eyes, my voice steady. "You destroyed this family when you decided I was disposable. You have 72 hours. Pay the balance on the cards. Repay the $46,000 from the treatment fund. If you do, I might consider a settlement. If not, the state prosecutor takes over." Arthur reached for my arm, his voice a pathetic whimper. "Please, Jade, don't do this." I stepped back, feeling a strange sense of peace. "Don't beg now. You never hesitated when you were talking from me." I left the envelope sitting open among the party decorations. As I walked away, I heard the first sound of an argument breaking out behind me. It was the only music I needed to hear. 6 months have passed since that Friday. Chase sold the BMW within 48 hours of the party, not out of guilt, but because the bank was already closing in. My parents repaid the debts in bitter, uneven installments through Robert's office. They never apologized. They never asked how I was. Silence became their only language. And honestly, it was the best gift they ever gave me. During those months, I built something that finally belonged to me. A small design studio in Portland. It's filled with secondhand furniture and a bright lamp I can leave on all night without worrying about the bill. I work late because I want to, not because I owe. On a recent Friday, a certified letter arrived. The handwriting on the envelope made my breath catch. It was from Arthur. Inside was a single page, "Jade, I don't expect forgiveness. I let your mother decide too much. I let her convince me you would always give. I see now how wrong I was. I hope you find the life we never gave you." I didn't cry. I just folded the letter and placed it in my desk drawer as a marker of where the story ended, not a reason to go back. At 8 o'clock sharp, the old reminder appeared on my phone. "Transfer $420. I swiped it away with a smile. I stepped onto the balcony with a cup of hot coffee and let the Portland morning air fill my lungs. The weight was gone. The debt was settled. I looked into my camera, recording the final piece of this journey. If you are listening to this, thank you for being here. Tell me where you are watching from. And if you're currently standing at the edge of choosing yourself over a family that only sees you as a resource, I'm right here with you. It's okay to close the bank." I ended the recording, set the phone down, and let the day begin on my terms. After that police report hit the cake table, the kingdom of lies collapsed faster than they could spend my money. Here is exactly where the players stand today. Chase Miller. The bank repossessed the metallic blue BMW less than 48 hours after the party due to fraudulent financing and missed payments. He is currently working a warehouse shift at a shipping center, living in a cramped studio apartment where he has to pay for every cent of electricity himself. No more champagne, no more investments. Just 12-hour shifts he once claimed were too much for his spirit. Marilyn. Her pride vanished along with her ruined credit score. Unable to open a single new line of credit, She was forced to sell off her collection of designer handbags and jewelry just to begin paying back the $46,800 she drained from me. The relatives who once prayed for her on Facebook have all blocked her number, fearing she'll ask them for a loan. Arthur, after finally admitting the truth, he is actually receiving treatment now, not with my money, but through a basic state-funded plan. He lives in the silence of an empty house, spending most of his time writing letters I rarely open. His regret is real, but it arrived far too late to save the family he allowed his wife to destroy. Jade, me. The $46,800 being paid back in installments became the seed money to expand my design studio. I no longer wake up with a knot of anxiety in my chest. My credit score is recovering. And more importantly, I've learned the most valuable lesson of all. My heart is not an emergency fund, and my kindness is not a debt I owe to anyone. They say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes blood is just a heavier anchor. I spent 3 years trying to keep a ship afloat, never realizing the people on board were the ones drilling holes under my feet. If you are standing at the edge of a choice between being someone's resource or being your own person, remember this: kindness without boundaries isn't sacrifice, it's soul-level suicide. You cannot light the way for others if you've let them drain every drop of oil from your own lamp. Closing the bank of you isn't selfish, it's survival. If you saw a piece of your own story in my notebook, drop an anchor in the comments. Let it be the sign that you're finally setting your own boundaries. Like this video if you believe the truth always finds its way out, and subscribe to Revenge Pulse to find justice in the shadows of family drama. I'm Jade, and today, I finally reclaimed myself. What about you? I'll see you in the next story.